everybody. You guys get the profile today. We're trying a different camera position. I hope you're doing good, having a good day. This camera holder is pretty intense. It was pretty amazing. I have been putting it on the front window, which is fine, but the sun beams down on the camera, aka the iPhone, and it overheats and says, "The hell with you, I'm not doing this anymore." So I'm attempting something new. I've stuck the thing to the moon roof. I don't know if I like it there. I'll figure it out. I mean, all of this is just an experiment anyway, right? I don't need somebody running me over. So I hope you had a good weekend. It's Tuesday. It's our, run up to the Hollywood Hills Day. And last week I was very excited because I was going to take my friend's son shopping. But he did not sleep well and did not nap well. So we called it quits on that idea. And I went on Friday instead. And his mother had told him that we were going on an adventure. And there's something so cute. Let me back up a second. If you haven't heard the story at all. I gave Nicholas a gift for Easter. I gave him a book and a teeny weeny bunny, and he was very excited about these gifts. And then he went and took his nap, and he woke up from his nap, and he went and hid behind a bush when he saw me again. And he was hiding because he started to cry. And he started to cry because he didn't have a gift to give to me, which is so cute. Unbelievably cute. But I think we can safely say that gifts are probably one of his love languages. I think that as we, germinate into this world that we're born into, is this swinging around? We reveal different aspects of ourselves. This was so clear. Is this kind of shimmy? Oh, God damn it. Oh, God damn it. Yeah, it's moving around. I apologize. If this is making you motion sick, let me know in the comments so that I can adjust, maybe figure out a different configuration. Maybe I could stick it to the entertainment thing. Okay, but back to Nicholas. So I go and we're gonna go on an adventure. And when you're 2.5 years old, what you say things, we're going on an adventure. Oh, so I get him in the car, and before we head out, I told him, I said, listen, this weekend is Mother's Day. Do you know what we do on Mother's Day? And he says, yeah. Which means no. And I explained, we give gifts to our mothers. And I said, do you want to go get a present for your mother? A present for Mama? He was so excited. So we get on the drive from the house to the Target, which is like 2 seconds away. he kept saying, "Hi, Ura," which is how he says Laura. Ura. "Hi, Ura." And I would say, "Hi, Nicholas." And then he would say, "Hi, Ura." He wants to have a conversation in the worst way. He just doesn't know what to talk about. So he just keeps saying, "Hi, Ura." We get to the store, and we had made the rule, if you're not in the car, you have to hold my hand. And his parents had voted for Target because Target has shopping carts. And they said to me that he's a runner. So be sure to get him in the shopping cart before he can take off on you. Like, oh God. Because I'm nobody's sprinter. I'm not going to be able to run after a kid. It's just not where I am at this season of my life. I'm not. No. And my niece used to do that. My niece used to take off running, and she was so clever. She knew how to run in with the sun to her back so she could see the shadows. So she knew I was getting close when she could see my shadow getting close. And she would just run and run and run and laugh and laugh. Oh, this was hilarious. And I think you really win that game by not chasing them. But it's terrifying when you're in a public place and you don't want them to get too far away from you, because they could get hurt, they could get snatched. Oops, hit a bump. Anything could happen. This is a really crappy video quality. I apologize for the motion. So we get to the Target. Target is 2 layers. There's a subterranean garage where we park, and then there's a second floor upstairs. And we get into the subterranean entrance, and I see all of 0 shopping carts. So I decide not to panic. If I have to just abort the mission, I will. But we just go. And he makes a beeline for stuff that Mama would like. I thought there might be a Mother's Day end cap. I didn't see one. So he starts trying on sunglasses, and then he hands me one. He says, "Mama would like this one." And then he finds a fanny pack, and he holds it up and declares with such intensity, "Mama will love this." And then it was time to get the wrapping paper. And so he takes my hand, and we head over to the escalator, and he gets this funny look on his face. Come on, buddy. Just because you need to sit there and diddle with whatever. So anyway, I'm like, "Do you like the escalator?" And he says, "Yeah." I should have known. But I had a feeling that maybe he was not familiar with the escalator. So I take him by the hand, and I get on the escalator, which means he's got to get on the escalator with me. We're attached, right? So I pull him onto the escalator, and he clutches onto the handrail for dear life. We pick out wrapping paper and cards. He manhandles as many things as he can possibly think to manhandle. Given that he was not in a cart, now that I think about it, it was probably his first chance to really just molest objects out in the open. Unfettered access to the Starbucks mugs and what have you. So now it's time to go back down. And the down escalator apparently was way more terrifying than the up escalator, because he held my hand like I thought there was going to be no blood going to my fingers. It was a vice grip. So, and I had been very clear when we got in the store, we're only buying something for Mama. We're not buying anything for anyone else. So we're waiting in line. and he casually shows me this Minnie Mouse snack. And I'm like, no. And he casually shows me a Ninja Turtle snack. I'm like, nope. Eventually he picks up some horrible little sack, and it's one of those pouches, applesauce pouch. I thought, okay, how much damage can you do with applesauce? And so, yes, you can have the applesauce. So we wait in line. He looks at me like I'm crazy. I think he's waiting for his mother. Clearly uses the self-checkout. I wanted him to interact with the checker. So we get through the checkout. He knows how to handle the card swiper, and I had considered getting cash, so he could handle cash. But I mean that involves a trip to the ATM, so I did not do that. He took the receipt, and we get as soon as we're out of the Target into the parking lot, he starts singing the names of everybody he knows. Just over and over again, singing everybody's name. And then we get to the car, and over across the parking lot, he can see that there's somebody getting into their car, getting out, dicking around with their car, essentially. And he hollers, "I have the flowers." It was such a little bratty moment, but it was so cute. He was so excited. And we get to the house, and okay, it's Friday, Mother's Day, it's Sunday. There's no way he's going to be able to wait 3 days for his mother to get this gift. He gives it to her right away. And she shows me the fanny pack, and she says, "I already have this exact fanny pack." Well, that would explain why he very emphatically told me that you would love it. So his mother's gonna go exchange it for a different color fanny pack. But it was, all in all, very successful trip to the Target. I got him home safe and sound, no injuries. We did not have time to rob the bank, as was on the agenda of things to do. Yeah, it was fun. I like little kids. I like kids. I guess I like people, even though I think people are crazy. But it was a fun little trip to the store. And, 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. And that was the weekend. Then, okay, so we had a little heat snap here in Los Angeles, so just out of the blue. Just really weird little heat snap. And on Saturday, there was this, I'm hot. I just want to, I just want to be cool. I'm not comfortable. And there's this smell in the dining room area of our apartment that smells like a gas leak mixed with a dead animal. It's just, it's rancid. It's such a bad smell. And I thought, okay, well, I'll call somebody in the morning. And of course, the morning was Mother's Day, and the smell had gone away. And I thought, okay, there's not a dead animal under the house, because if there had been, the smell would still be there. So then Monday comes, and the smell is back. Not as bad. The smell is back, but it has moved. It is across the room against the wall. So if it's an animal, it's not a dead animal because it's moving around. Ugh. And I checked, and no, I don't have any rotten potatoes, and my neighbor calls. He says, "Do you have a horrible smell?" Hi. Yes, thank you for asking. I do have a horrible smell. So his brother comes down and sniffs around, and he immediately thinks, oh, she must have some bad onions or something. Nope, but he detects the smell, which made me feel way less crazy, because my roommate was like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. So the handyman came by this morning, and he's like, yes, this garbage can smells. And he moved the garbage can. The smell is inside the apartment, friends. It's not outside the apartment. So the building manager is going to come back and check it out this afternoon. I had delayed getting up to Laurel Canyon because I thought the handyman would come in the house so I could show him where the smell was. And he says he checked under the house and there's no smell. There's nothing under the house. So I don't know. The smell is back. It's worse. It's back over to where it originally was this morning. And then when I left, it had moved back toward the wall again. So I called the manager. I was like, I don't understand it. I don't know why it's moving. It's a smell that moves. And it's very garbagey, but it also has a weird gassy kind of smell combined with it. So I don't know. It's new and it's not going away, and I need it resolved before the summer, before it gets really whoo-wee. Oh, I can't do that Saturday smell. I can't do that all summer. Oh no. So wish me luck on that one. If it means I have to start calling building inspectors and stuff, I will, because it's going to be nasty. It's going to be a bad, nasty badness. Ugh. Yeah, you can't eat in the dining room when that smell is going. I don't know how my roommate missed it. He was sitting there playing video games right next to the smell. I don't know. How are you liking this view in profile? Is that... I don't know how bad the shimmy is on this angle too. I'm chewing gum because I'm a little nauseous today. I'm feeling better now that I'm not in the house. So I know it is some gas, and I am affected by it. It's not natural gas though. Natural gas, they add that odor, that horrible odor. They add it to natural gas so that you will smell it, so that you won't die. Yeah, we'll see. Fingers crossed. We're gonna hit a bump in a minute, which normally I wouldn't warn you about, but you're dangling instead of resting. So here we go. Ooh. Oh, what's so bad? The window is so dirty. Oh well. Am I gonna mess around with it? What if I tilted the camera and then it popped out of the holder and then it's sitting on the floor, and then I have anxiety until I get where I'm going, and then I could turn it off, and yeah, you're just gonna have to deal with this. So I'm still struggling with my biopic. I think because it's a real person. If If it was a completely fictional person, I could just make things logical my own way. But people live very illogical lives. And because it's illogical, that's part of the reason why it's interesting. So I have to I'm getting closer. I still don't have a log line, at least not one I like, not one that grabs me the way that her life has grabbed me. So I'm still working on that, and then I'm working on a couple of other ideas. I've got a very weird, somebody said that's a TV show. I thought, ugh, I would not watch this TV show. And that reaction told me, ugh, would I watch this movie? I think yes, I would watch the movie. I think I would definitely watch the movie. I don't think I would watch it as a TV show. A week in and week out, just perpetually unresolved. It just sounds terrible to me. So I'll tell you the idea for so I got a little fascinated by the fact that there seemed to be a handful of documentaries about people who believe that they are descendants of the Zodiac Killer. There's one on Hulu, and it's based on this book this guy wrote about the investigation he did on his father, who was a criminal, and did spend time in jail and what have you, but definitely was not the Zodiac Killer. But he has a whole career of this investigation that he did, and he hired a ghostwriter, and they wrote a book about it, and blah 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 blah. And early on I thought, this can't possibly be true. I thought it was very, very weird pursuit, and there's a documentary over on HBO where this girl thinks her grandfather is a Zodiac Killer, and everybody's finding pieces of articles that they can run DNA on, and it doesn't match any of the DNA that they've recovered from the Zodiac crime scenes and what have you. And there's a couple of guys on YouTube who there's different, my dad was a Zodiac Killer, or my grandpa, or what. And I do not understand this fascination with being related to the Zodiac Killer. It does tell me that they all have probably really creepy and or scary fathers and grandfathers. And I feel terrible that they've all been abused this way. That the only explanation they have for the evil that they've experienced is that clearly their person has to be the Zodiac Killer. That what they've experienced is so horrific, it has to be at the hands of an infamous killer. I think that's weird. It got me thinking. I think and there's something worth exploring there. What is this mentality, and I don't think it's a TV show. I don't think it's a movie either. Where I think I might have a movie is, what if you had a serial killer who was also pro-life and a prolific sperm donor? could be. I think there's something there. I mean, it's, what does he want? He wants to kill people, but he also wants to not kill people. He wants to alive people and unalive people. And what is that about? So I'm sort of toying with that. But I wouldn't every week. We saw Dexter. There's no way to make this guy noble. There just isn't. Okay, so here we are. This is our departing point. This is the point where I usually say goodbye. I got all involved in my project. I will talk to you later. I hope you have a really great day. Yeah. Bye. I want you off my... Oh, I'm still recording.